Hey, I want to talk about a paint job. We get a lot of customers will say it's just a typical paint job. Just paint the room. That's not really usual. That's not standard. So when you bring in three different painting companies, you'll say it's just a paint job. I just need a price. That's all going to be the same. That's not the case at all. That's not the case at all on a paint job. It's going to vary from painter to painter, and definitely going to vary from company to company. You can bring in three different painting contractors, put them in the same room. They're going to come up with three different estimates because they figured it three different ways. They're going to prep that room three different ways. You might have one company give you, the standard prep job that you're expecting. You might have one give you a little bit below that. And you might have another give you top of the line, more than you even asked for. But you don't know that. So you're going to get all these different prices, high, low, middle, and not know really which one is going to do it the way you want, unless you really, really, really expressed your expectations during that estimate, which I'm sure is not the case all the time. I know it's not the case all the time because I do the estimates. You have to make sure that you express what you want on the job. So a typical paint job is not typical. Same way if you hired a cleaning company. They're not all going to do it the same way. They're not all going to do it just as well as the next guy. And that doesn't mean that the guy who's doing a little bit below the other guys is wrong. It just means that he didn't grasp the scope of work that maybe you gave him. Or maybe you didn't give it to him, and maybe his is right and the others are wrong. And this guy's doing too much. So it's important to understand that a paint job is it's variable. How the wall is going to turn out is variable. What you think is a proper paint job may not be. Listening to YouTube or searching on Google on how to paint a room or how to paint an epoxy floor, it's not the same as real world. It's not. I can look on YouTube and learn how to do anything you want to do. I can learn how to fill a cavity if I want to on YouTube. That doesn't mean I'm going to go do it. Could you do it? Maybe. Could you do that epoxy floor? Maybe. But what happens when something goes wrong with it? And floors, things go wrong. Things you can't control. There's moisture pushing up through underneath. There's outgassing coming up. There's a lot of gas coming through the floors. We have it happen. It happens. What do you do then? You already bought into it. Now, looking on YouTube, it's telling me the contractor should do this. The contractor should do that. And you go back and tell the contractor, hey, on YouTube and on Google, I was searching, and you're not putting down the epoxy correctly. Did you realize how dumb that sounds? You have to let the guys do their work. Again, a standard paint job is not standard. A typical paint job is not typical. They're always different.